Hi everyone, welcome to the Yoga and Golf. Today I would like to talk to you about something that isn't discussed so much, and it's about the heart. Now we all know that the heart is very important, but there's something that I discovered recently and I think you'll be surprised, so I'd like to share this with you. Now we all know that the heart is really important for our health, and we don't spend so much time on it, but recently I did start to think about it because I saw something interesting on my yoga mat. Now, this is my mat. I use this quite a bit. It's by a brand called Manduka, which, in case you don't know, it means frog in Sanskrit. So here is the logo here. Now, this is a pro version, which means that it's actually not designed for beginners who want to have support. This is actually designed so that you can feel the floor. So it's not soft at all, but it has really good grip. And I've been using this for a long time and the grip is still pretty good. Maybe it's time for a new one. But here are all the other ones. Well, in fact, there's a lot more than this. I also have this one here. No, this is just the same one, but different color I have, and a few others. And I started to notice that there was this impression on one side. And I use this a fair bit, maybe 4 hours a day, 4 hours asanas a day. But you see that there are no other impressions on the mat. At first I thought maybe some sort of dirt, I try to wipe it off and it's still there. And I thought maybe it's from foot pressure because I stand on the mat quite a bit, but in different places. Maybe knee pressure or hand pressure. But if this was the case, the impressions would be on both sides. So here, they're only on one side. And I started to think that, well, it must be something else. And I started to think maybe it's from the heart, because I do some asanas where my heart is pressed against the floor. So for example, the locust, salabhasana, not very long, but I do it. I also do the variation. Here I'm off the floor, but nevertheless, the heartbeats would affect it. I also lie in the crocodile, makara asana, and the bow. Again, I'm off the floor, but maybe the heartbeat is still going on it. So if you look at the locust position, you'll see that I'm definitely right above the impression where my heart would be. And of course, this one is when I'm facing the other side, because some days I face that way, some days I face the other way. And then I came across a video by Professor Brian Cox, famous astrophysicist, and he mentioned some really fascinating things about the heart. So for example, it's an electric organ before it's a pump. It's a power source, and the cells generate electrical impulses from the heart, and these impulses spread throughout the body like lightning strikes. And he mentioned that it creates the strongest electromagnetic field in the body. Apparently, you can measure it several feet outside the chest. So even for asanas we're on some distance off the floor, this could explain why the pulses are still making an impression on the mat. And it actually creates electricity. So you imagine you are throwing electricity at this mat, you would think that it could create some sort of impression on it. And apparently nobody talks about it, well, except Professor Cox and myself maybe. So I just did some numbers. Now, of the asanas that I do daily, maybe 10 minutes only where my heart is against the mat. And let's say I'm doing 70 beats per minute. So in a year, 70,000 beats. So over an 8-year period, which is the age of my mat, 500,000 beats. I don't know. I can't explain any other reason why the impressions would be here based on other asanas. So, going back to golf. Apparently golfers live on average 5 years longer than non-golfers. But on the other side, quite a few of us, maybe not us, 1,000 players die on the golf course from heart attacks, just in the United States and in Europe. So, maybe a good idea to practice yoga and then play golf. What do you think?